Today we're diving deep into modern feminism and how the data paints a totally different picture than what many expect. Look,
Exactly.
even in the most gender-equal societies, women still lean towards traditionally feminine careers.
That's really interesting. So, in places with zero institutional barriers, women are still choosing the same paths they always have, right?
Exactly, and it's like, um, it challenges the idea that social conditioning is the sole driver.
Yeah, that really makes you
I mean,
think.
if society were forcing a change, wouldn't we see a dramatic shift away from traditional roles?
Right, right. And it makes you wonder if modern feminism perhaps oversaw this idea of breaking free from traditional roles.
Yes, it does. Think about it. Early feminism had these very concrete goals: voting rights, property rights, equal pay. But now we've got what some call an empowerment industrial complex.
You got that?
It almost feels like empowerment is being turned into a sort of performance.
I agree. But don't you think there's a danger of oversimplifying here? I mean, while it's true that traditional roles persist, there are still many barriers that haven't been dismantled yet.
Good point. But consider the data. In the most gender equal countries, even without those barriers, women are choosing familiar paths.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, um, nature might be interplaying with nurture more than we acknowledge.
And speaking of nature, the discussion touches on biological research as well, right? Hormones influence behavior, yet society often dismisses such data because it doesn't match the preferred narrative.
Right, exactly. It's like, even though biology does play a role, the current narrative prefers to ignore it in favor of a more ideological
Yeah, that's
approach.
a huge
And
oversight.
this supposedly progressive stance often forces everyone to deny their natural inclinations.
Absolutely. And what's even more striking is the pressure on men. They're basically walking on eggshells, told to be strong but not too strong, sensitive but not weak, right?
Yes, and that double standard creates an environment where both men and women suffer.
Yeah, totally.
This leads to rising anxiety and depression as people are squeezed into these impossible expectations.
It seems like in trying to erase gender differences, we're actually making it harder for people to be happy and authentic.
Exactly. And here's where social media enters the picture. It amplifies the extreme voices, making it nearly impossible to have a balanced, nuanced discussion.
I
One
totally
wrong
agree.
post, and suddenly you're labeled a traitor or a hero.
That constant pressure could really contribute to the overall stress levels we're seeing in society.
Right? And it's such a conundrum. Studies show that in societies with the most freedom, people actually revert to their natural, traditionally gendered
Yeah, that's
choices.
fascinating.
More freedom means more authentic choices, even if they align with old stereotypes.
So, in a way, it's not about libraries of restrictions, but about the authenticity of our choices, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, um, in Scandinavian countries with aggressive policies for gender equality, there's greater divergence in career choices than in less egalitarian places. It almost turns our
Absolutely.
assumptions about progress upside down.
But wait, so are we saying that strict equality measures might inadvertently reinforce traditional patterns? I mean, doesn't this challenge the whole idea of progress?
That's a really valid challenge. It suggests that maybe, um, our approach to progress should be less about enforcing a uniform mold and more about celebrating
Yeah, I can
differences.
see that.
Instead of denying biology or natural inclinations, why not understand and work with them?
I like that perspective. And it ties in with workplace research too, right? People perform better when they're allowed to be genuinely themselves.
Precisely. When employees feel free to express their authentic selves, whether that's in traditional roles or something entirely different, they're not just happier, they're more
Yep, for sure.
productive. It creates a win-win for both individuals and organizations.
It's almost like our society would benefit from a paradigm shift, less about forcing a script and more about encouraging true freedom.
Exactly. Instead of pursuing a one-size-fits-all approach, why not maximize individual freedom so that choices naturally reflect who we are?
Right on, I get that.
It's about respecting biology, psychology, and the nuanced reality of human nature.
That really brings everything together. There's a need to find a balance between equality of opportunity and the genuine recognition of inherent differences, correct?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. By accepting traditional patterns where they genuinely arise, we might discover a more authentic form of progress. It's like rather than fighting against nature, we should, you know, harness it for personal and societal fulfillment.
I can really see the merit in that. So, what do you think is the ultimate takeaway here?
Well, I'd say it's all about redefining progress. It's not forcing people into a homogenized mold, but rather creating the space for each person to be truly themselves, whether that means sticking with traditional roles or breaking from them entirely.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Authenticity over conformity, always.
And it seems like the data really supports that idea that when people are free, they lean into what feels natural. It's a powerful insight for both policymakers and, well, for everyday life.
Exactly. When it comes down to it, true equality isn't about erasing differences, it's about celebrating them and allowing genuine human experience to thrive. And that, in
Absolutely.
turn, nurtures true personal and societal growth.
I can't help but think about the implications for our future if we shift from a one dimensional approach to a more nuanced understanding.
Yes, absolutely. Imagine a world where, instead of tearing down the very characteristics that make us human, we build on them. It might just be the key to
Yeah,
truly
indeed.
sustainable progress.
It's been a great deep dive. Thanks for breaking down these complex ideas. Definitely a lot to think about.
Anytime. It's exciting to explore these contradictions and see data challenging our traditional beliefs. Here's to more
Exactly.
conversations that push us to rethink the status quo.